Today on the That Park Place News Countdown, George Lucas throws the kibosh on the idea that he ever had an apprentice. The special district in charge of Walt Disney World Resort considers reinstating passholder perks. Bob Iger gets 2 offers for sizable chunks of the Walt Disney Company. A new Robert Kirkman comic is more than meets the eye, and Disneyland shuts down an entire land just 6 months after opening. All that on today's That Park Place News Countdown.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to That Park Place Network right here. Jonas, I have been getting some amazing feedback reading those comments through our previous videos. I gotta tell you, I've been hearing some really great stuff for not only what our contributors have been contributing towards, but what you have been putting together. So thank you from the viewers to you, good sir.
Oh, well, thank you. And yes, I've been reading the comments too. I especially appreciate the one from Fletcher Williams. He did the one where the hands go up in the air, and I absolutely loved it. Today, I'm very excited to start presenting videos from all of our contributors around the network. And thanks for tuning in here for all the news that should be fun. So let's get started.
Number 1.
Hello, this is John Trent of Bounding into Comics. I have a story today about Dave Filoni and the fact that he is actually not the apprentice to George Lucas, despite what Lucasfilm and specifically Jon Favreau recently claimed in a featurette promoting the Ahsoka series. So if you watch this Ahsoka series, it was called Master and Apprentice, a special look at Ahsoka. In that featurette, Jon Favreau said, George visited the set when we were filming the lightsaber fight in the Japanese garden in season 2. And I think he was really encouraging of Dave stepping up to this role. And so George would turn to Kathy and myself and be proud of Dave. He was Dave's teacher and Dave was his apprentice. However, George Lucas made it abundantly clear he did not have an apprentice, or he was not mentoring anyone. In an interview with CNN back when he was promoting The Revenge of the Sith, he was asked by CNN if he was mentoring someone to take over, and Lucas said, no, there may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release, but for sort of offshoot stories and things in other areas, but not in theatrical films. I just want to keep that special. I don't want to have it sort of turn into Star Trek.
Number 2.
Hello. I'm Lorena of the Lorena Creole YouTube channel, keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. And speaking of keeping it real, SFTOD has decided to reconsider its decision about eliminating annual pass benefits for SFTOD employees at Walt Disney World. According to this article from wdwmagic.com, during tonight's Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board meeting, CEO Glenn Gilzine, sorry if I said that wrong, revealed that the district continues looking for a new solution to the proposed changes to its Walt Disney World annual pass benefit for district employees. In an email sent to Central Florida Tourism Oversight District employees in August, the administrator said that he is ending Walt Disney World's annual pass program benefit. Now, this did not go over well initially with some SFTOD employees. These were benefits they were used to receiving when it was a Reedy Creek Improvement District, and the loss of those benefits, there was a lot of noise made about that. Gilzan said in his email, in the proposed fiscal year 2024 budget, I have incorporated funding for a new stipend program that allows for individual flexibility rather than underserving employees with a one-size-fits-all approach. The district said in the email only 50% of employees use the Walt Disney World Annual Pass benefit. Quote, we've received feedback on the stipend amount and we're working with the Board of Supervisors to increase the initial proposal now, making it more equitable. And one of the plans in consideration is the possibility of allowing teams to purchase passes directly from the operating participant program. So it's good to see that SFTOD is coming up with some alternatives that people can choose from. So let us know in the comments, do you think this new suggested approach is a good one that makes SFTOD look good and also serves the SFTOD employees? Let us know in the comments.
Number 3.
Hello, it's Culture Casino on behalf of That Park Place, and today's story comes to us from Deadline by Dade Hayes and Jill Goldsmith, and it's titled Disney Fielding Interest in ABC and Other Linear TV Assets from Byron Allen and Nexstar. Media giant calls reports of sales talks unfounded, but will consider strategic options. And while that title itself is quite the mouthful, I know, I just read it, the amount of specific information within the article is quite limited. In a follow-up to Nexstar's initial reported offer, it also seems that even Byron Allen's offer is being denied. Well, sort of. Disney's Bob Iger does seem serious about setting Disney's legacy properties up for grabs at his version of a $1 billion media yard sale. The list of known suitors actually includes Byron Allen and Nexstar vying for a piece of Disney's TV empire, and they really do mean business. Sources say that Byron Allen threw about $10 billion on the table. Yeah, you heard that right, $10 billion bucks, as long as Disney parts with ABC, Disney's 8 local TV stations, FX, and the National Geographic Channel. Now that's a ton of distribution outlets any media mogul would want. Since those of us that are out in the cheap seats have been paying attention, FX and Nat Geo are cozy in Disney's little streaming playground on Hulu and Disney+. And that is unless it's assumed that, well, recent cable shuffles like Charter's renewal deal will expand to leave even more than things like Freeform and FXX out in the cold, which that's quite possible. Of course, time will tell, but it looks like Disney's media legacy might be headed for a roller coaster ride with all the deferred maintenance you would fear, at least nowadays at Disney parks. But let us know what you think down below, folks. Maybe this deal's already done. Maybe we just don't know it yet. Till next time, see ya!
Number 4.
Humans of Earth, it is I, Optimus Table, leader of the Table Bots, here to tell you about the latest news on Transformers.
Anyway, whoops, sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Tommy Tables from That Park Place, bringing you all the news that should be fun. And today we're going to be talking about a subject that I find particularly fun, which is Transformers. So, as you might be aware, Transformers is a property that's been around since the 1980s and has had its various ups and downs. The most recent live-action movie, Rise of the Beasts, unfortunately didn't do too well. However, the good news is that it looks like Transformers might be experiencing a renaissance in the comic book side of things. Robert Kirkman, who you might know from The Walking Dead and Invincible, stealthily acquired those rights. He recently launched a title called Void Rivals, and halfway through the comic, a Transformer appears, which blew everybody away. It cracked the internet for at least a day. And I know that when I went to that comic reading it cold, I was thinking, this is a pretty good comic, interesting premise. The characters are kind of gripping me. There's some pretty neat aspects about it. And then blam, there's a Transformer. In this case, it was Jetfire. It's already reflecting in comic book sales. Transformers Void Rivals #1 has apparently already sold over 100,000 copies. Even the big name titles at Marvel and DC are barely breaking, 40,000, 50,000 units sold. Will this continue on? Who knows? But I will say, when it comes to comic books, it is a pretty exciting time to be a Transformers fan. Let us know what you think. Drop your thoughts down below and roll out.
Number 5.
Hello there, Vash Guy here with our next story. Walt Disney World news today. More construction walls have gone up in Mickey's Toontown Disneyland Park, this time around Centennial Park. This is significant because this is a habit of having to go back multiple times and actually make changes to this area that just opened March of this year. To give viewers an idea of how much they've had to actually go back and redo this area, this is Goofy's house. You can see that there was supposed to be this interactive birdhouse right in front. That has never appeared, never opened. This is Donald Duck's play area, which was supposed to be kind of a water play area. You would have expected that this be up not only for the land's opening in March, but at least by summer. This still has yet to open. You've seen these at public parks, these kind of spring back and forth play objects here. Those have been entirely removed. You can see here at the bottom of the frame these tulips that were supposed to be there, which were there for some time. Those have now been removed, and now we have this fountain, which was supposed to have these interactive features. It was supposed to have multiple profiles that would go off, especially at night. Those have yet to be activated, and you can see A clamshell is already missing. Who knows what happened there? They've been adding characters to it, but now the whole thing is behind construction walls for what people are assuming a redo of maybe the spongy area in Centennial Park and maybe a new spongy area around that fountain. You'll note that that area gets very, very wet with that fountain kind of overspraying like it does. So this is kind of a fascinating story of having to not only invest capital into opening this land, but also reinvesting capital over and over again in a very short amount of time. They might not be getting the bang for the buck. What do you think? Is this kind of overkill for a land that just opened, or is this just fine to have to reinvest multiple times and get this right? Comment below. Well, Jonas, another fantastic video. Thank you so much for editing and putting that together. I think the viewers really, really do appreciate all your hard work, and honestly, you make us contributors look very, very good, so thank you so much.
Well, I do appreciate every single one of them, especially Craig. It's a funny thing when you edit these together. We have so many great collaborators that we really appreciate, and we just feel fortunate to have them all on board. And we feel very fortunate for the viewers that we have. If anybody is interested in hearing more of what we say outside of the comment section here, you can follow us on Twitter at TPP News Network, Jonas J. Campbell at Vash Sky. You can see the tags there at the top of the screen. And of course, come back tomorrow, or maybe the next business day, let's say that, for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com for all the news that should be fun. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.